Hi, my name is Darren Aaron. I'm the owner of JKS UK Ltd, and this is Hans De Bie, the export manager for LISSMAC. And today we're going to be presenting the Multicut 590 floor saw. So, Hans, if you could give us a quick overview of the floor saw itself.
Yeah, basically the Multicut 590 is a 50 horsepower Perkins diesel engine, 3-cylinder. Comes with a stage 5 tier 4, the latest and the best emission norms currently. So you can use them everywhere around Europe without any restriction.
Okay.
The 50 horsepower machines comes also with a battery system, so there is a battery pack inside.
Right.
So basically the advance, the forward speed of the machine is electrically. Yeah? The lifting and lowering over these two brackets is also electrically. Yeah? And at the same time, we can engage a system which measures up pressure or measures up resistance. So once you're in iron, in reinforced concrete, your engine will slow down, your electric engine will slow down, and not your diesel engine. So you have at all time, you have the complete torque, the complete power from your diesel engine, so the 50 horsepower on the shaft, not into the hydraulic system, so no.
So from what I understand, what you're saying there is that there's no losses within the system. The 50 horsepower is directly on the shaft.
Yeah, that's correct.
So in corresponding to other saws of its type and its class, it comes across as a more powerful unit.
It comes across as a more powerful unit. That's completely correct.
So what we would expect is it would be a faster cut than...
not only a faster cut, also a smoother cut due to the measuring system. So once you go into reinforced concrete, there is no power loss at all. Not even the engine slowing down. The engine goes at 100%. The electric forward speed is just like on a wall saw.
So Hans, if I understand correctly, we have a 50 horsepower Perkins engine, and all the energy from the engine is basically going on the drive of the saw forwards and backwards, and the blade itself on the spindle of the machine. So because of all that power that is just directed to those features, there's no losses throughout the system anywhere else, which means that because we've got a 50 horsepower saw here with all the energy going to the blade, it's more powerful than corresponding saws that are 50 horsepower themselves, because they have losses within their systems.
So more power than the conventional machines that we know on the market. So this system, the forward speed, the lifting and the lowering of the unit, there is no loss on the shaft. So on the shaft you have the complete 50 horsepower, and the torque combined with the measuring system of resistance gives you at all time full performance and full 50 horsepower.
So that you're talking about the rebar detection.
The rebar detection system.
Which is unique for the LISSMAC saws in the UK. There's no other saw that has a rebar detection system. So it has a sensor at the front of the blade, and it has a sensor at the rear of the blade. And when the saw hits rebar, in normal saws, you would hit the rebar and the blade would slow down and the blade would rise up, and then it would slowly sink down, and you'd hear the difference. With this saw, it happens instantaneously, and you don't even hear the saw hitting the rebar. There's no change in the power of the blade at all. What the electronic sensors are doing, they're going to slow down the rear wheels without you even noticing, and the blade will work through the rebar at full RPM, full speed, and straight through, much easier. So what that means is that any operator can get hold of the saw and cut through rebar like he's been cutting for the last 20-30 years. It makes no difference. The saw does all the thinking for you. So basically you always have 50 horsepower at the blade, and it hits the rebar and you still have the same power there. It just backs the wheels off.
It reduces the speed of the electric forward speed.
So what we're saying is that any operator with this system can operate this saw like he's been sawing for many years.
Even myself.
Even yourself.
I did it, and it was successful. You can, let's say the youngsters attending the market in a couple of years, they won't have problem driving or using this machine compared to a conventional machine. There is no restriction.
Okay.
They can start at full throttle and the machine does it for you. In case you're an experienced guy and you say, oh, I don't need it, you can engage or disengage the system.
So you can turn it on or off.
Yeah.
So with an inexperienced guy who comes on it with the rebar detection, they're going to be able to cut just as fast as anyone else. But also because of the Perkins engine and the orientation of the machine, it's going to cut smoother as well.
First things first, the engine is in the length of the machine.
Okay.
So less vibrations on the shaft.
Right.
It doesn't come with steel bars. Yeah.
Yes.
It comes with the steering.
Yes.
So the guy who's working with the machine, he won't be tired. He won't be suffering from his hips pushing the machine, or you're standing behind and you have control over your straight line.
Health and safety in the UK, it's always a problem when people are lifting and pushing and pulling and fighting with the machine every day. This eliminates all of those problems. So there's no more bars anymore. So what the steering wheel system offers is normally an operator is fighting against the machine to keep it straight and lifting on the bars at all times. And this is a much easier, effortless way of steering the machine, making life a lot easier for the operator. No matter how old the operator is, anyone can run this machine with the steering wheel. So another unique feature of this saw is that we have an English 50 horsepower Perkins engine, which is easy. As an English engine, it's easy to maintain and get spare parts in the UK. But the orientation of the engine is moved longitudinally in the direction of travel for the machine. And what that gives you is it's a slightly longer machine, but it's a narrower machine, so it can fit through doorways much better. But also because of that orientation, you get a much smoother cut. It's less vibration, and what that gives you is a faster cut, smoother, less wear on your blade, so it's more economical and a much better feature than other saws of its class. Another key advantage of this saw is that the diesel engine doesn't have to be engaged to move it around the site, so you can move it off and on your vehicle. You can move it around site just with the battery engaged. There's no loss to power. It's no different from having it running with the diesel engine on. It just means that it's more environmentally sound. It's a much quieter, effortless way of getting your vehicle to where you need it to cut. Most other saws in the UK operate on a scissor action. So the higher up the saw, when you're say fitting a 1.2 meter blade, the wheels come closer together and it's like a scissor action. But what we find is that the higher up it is, the less stable the machine is. And with this machine, because we have a fixed frame where the lowering and the raising of the saw is actuated by cylinders on this side and this side, the wheels say fixed at certain distance apart and they don't come together, so it's much more practical and it's much safer when you're lifting the saw to its highest position.
It is a little bit longer as a conventional machine.
Yes.
Yeah? With the chassis, a rigid chassis, so the distance from your front wheel to your back wheel remains the same. It's not a scissor principle. So in case of the scissor principle, you lose stability with larger diameters. This machine, with the distance between front and back wheel, always the same. Even on higher diameters, you have full stability.
With other saws, that when you put a big blade on, you have to lift the saw up for the higher diameter blade, but the wheels come closer together. So the higher up it goes, the less stable those saws are. But this, you're saying, is on a rigid frame, a rigid chassis?
Rigid frame with these two big rams. Yeah.
Okay.
Lifting the system with the chain over here inside.
So there's a chain system here, and so
an electric system.
When it goes up and down, it's perfectly balanced all the way up, all the way down.
up to 1,200 in a range of 50 horsepower, which is also unique.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we've discussed the rebar detection system and the fact that it's on a rigid chassis and it's a smooth cut because the orientation of the engine is in this direction. So it's a bit longer, but I noticed it's also a bit narrower than a lot of saws.
Yeah.
So getting through doorways is much easier with this saw because of the narrower orientation of it. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so can you explain a bit more about the gearbox system on this saw?
Or a conversion kit. The conversion kit for fresh concrete, 600, 800, 1,000, 1,200. Or we have a gearing system, which comes with 4 RPMs and a neutral stand. So you can switch off your blade while transporting it or while driving into your van. You can leave on your consumable without the blade turning.
Which is a real big health and safety point.
Yeah.
So we have a gearbox on this system, and it's a 4-speed gearbox and a neutral.
A 4-speed gearbox and a neutral, and an additional gearing system for the rotation. Is it counterwise, or is it clock counter?
So here we have something that no other saw has in the UK either, and that is we have a clockwise or an anti-clockwise rotation direction for the blade. So can you explain why we would go away from the conventional rotation and reverse it?
For vacuum aspiration, for the slurry.
Okay.
The treating of the slurry. We have blade guards, vacuum blade guards that remain close to the surface, really not on the surface, but very close to the surface. And we create a kind of vacuum with a vacuum cleaner built on the machine up front.
Okay.
And then immediately while cutting, you treat your slurry and you transport it with the vacuum cleaner and the pump. You transport it to
this machine will take a vacuum system with a special guard on it, and you reverse the blade direction.
Yeah, so in case the blade turns in the opposite way, everything is being sucked up front of the machine.
Right.
The machine keeps on driving, and afterwards, there is another suction point behind the blade. So almost all of the material is being taken care of. There won't be slurry on the floor anymore.
So the joint is completely clean.
The joint is as clean as it can be. Yeah, when it's raining outside, when the road is really unstable and not really flat, then might be that some slurry escapes. But inside buildings, you're 100% clean. Yeah, it's really clean. It's a clean joint.
No dust, no
dust, no water.
Slurry, no nothing. No. At the rear of the Multicut 590, we have an easy access panel. And here is easy access to the battery system, and also the cooling filter is positioned well back away from the dirt and debris from site, which many of the other floor saws of its class have this filter at the front that needs blowing out all the time. This is well thought out and positioned right at the back of the unit.
Now at the very back of the machine, you can see the steering of the machine, which can be mounted on the right side of the machine and on the left side. Let's go through the control panel of the Multicut 590, with on the left top the setting of the cutting depth. You lift your machine. Let's say now you're lowering and you're touching the ground. You can set your 0 points. The maximum cutting depth is installed with this button. Confirm, and now your maximum cutting depth of 50 millimeters is set. If you lower down the machine, it won't go deeper as 50 millimeters. The second one is the speed with whom you descend in the material. The larger the number, the faster you're going down. The third position is the detection system of the iron bars. If you touch into iron bars, when it's green around, your system is engaged. Underneath is the working speed, the thermal speed, and the speed for any movement on a construction site. On the right side, there is a 12-volt connection point for warning lights, eventual water pump, and 2 additional 12-volt connections for other devices. The last feature is the forward speed. You can set the forward speed on the right side with this leveler. Go forward, set at 0, go backwards, or engage the 100% forward speed directly on the control panel. In the middle of the display, you have your actual cutting depth, your maximum cutting depth, the RPM of the engine, of the diesel, the actual status of your battery, it charges while working on the diesel, and your forward speed per minute of the machine. Basically, this is the complete control panel of the LISSMAC Multicut 590.
So the Multicut 590 has features that are not seen in any floor saw in the UK. They're really individual features, really special, and they're going to enhance the operator's cut, the performance, speed of cut, the smoothness of the cut. It's all built into this machine.